Got it. All right. Then I'm just gonna go right ahead and start. So, okay, guys, we are here for our JP University. And today we are doing the pitch, habit 4, explore and heighten, and our story brand chapter 7. So I'm going to be talking a little bit about ditch the pitch, and Kristin, my partner, is going to be talking about the story brand. So without further ado, let's get going. So I know last JP University, we talked about habit 3, which was about having conversations with customers and using yes and this is all about moving the conversation forward and making sure that every idea is a bridge to a better idea. And the main reason and most important reason we do this is to find our customers' path. And the way we do this is by bringing the yes and to the next level with using explore and heighten. And when we use it, yes and, we are finding something in their statement to agree with, and add in something that we know to be true as well. And when we explore and heighten in this dialogue, we aren't dismissing any comments or anything they say and what they're talking about, and we are engaging with them. And by saying yes and, it lets them feel validated and also has them open up to the real underlying problem, which we have a solution for. And we also need to remember not to focus on denying and resisting our customers' truth, because we'll be able to see a clear way out of this truth to a better place. And also, if you say yes and you recognize your customer's truth, you will be in a much better position to help your customers shift from their current idea of what is true to a different truth. So now we're going to start. Does anyone have any questions on this before we do a little bit of role playing? Anybody have any questions? Pretty straightforward. So, okay, so let's role play. This is fun. So, okay, think about this scene here. You're talking to a potential customer, and they say to you, well, I think balance of nature is just as good as Juice Plus. But we know with 100% certainty that our product is the superior one, right? So how do we heighten and explore this to move the conversation forward and shift their current idea of what is true to what we know to be true? So, okay, here's the customer. So this is what she says. Well, I have heard that balance is just as good as Juice Plus. Now, how do we do a yes and heighten that conversation to get them in that direction? Anybody want to volunteer? Kristin?
I would probably say, yes, I've heard that so many times. And what makes you, and do you know about both products? What do you know about both products? I don't really want to talk about balance of nature very much. I want to get back to Juice Plus, but what do you know? I would probably say, what do you know about each product?
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Exactly. And it's validating. Yes. You're saying yes. You're not saying, no, that is not true. Juice Plus is the best. You're saying yes, and then going into the question. Does anybody else have anything, another way that they can phrase it?
I think for me, I might start off with, yes, I'm excited that you're looking at different things to improve your health. What got you started looking at, or what got you started to look at like fruits and vegetables? I mean, was there something that prompted you to look at any kind of product that, with fruits, vegetables, and berries? What got you excited about looking?
I love that, Carrie, because now we're starting to shift. See, that shift is coming in, and we're starting to kind of, oh, okay, yeah, that's what we're talking about is fruits and vegetables. So then we're getting to their underlying problem of why they started to look at fruits and vegetables to begin with. And, from there, we're going to keep exploring and heightening. So they're going to say something, and then we're going to say yes, and And then something else that can go along with it. Does anybody so now that Carrie said that, can anybody give me another yes and to that, to keep it going anymore? Anybody? Caprice?
I'm trying to catch up. I got in here a few minutes late. So, Carrie, can you just repeat what you said again?
I said, yes, I'm really excited that you're starting to look at things that could improve your health, like fruits, vegetables, and berries. What prompted you, or what got you looking at different products that have fruits, vegetables, and berries?
I've been reading a lot about different health issues because my families just seem to be plagued with health issues lately. And every time I look at ways to prevent it, it always mentions eating more fruits and vegetables. And so I watch, TV, and I'm just seeing these commercials that are talking about that, and it piqued my interest because I really don't know where else to go. So I thought I would check into those because that's what's popping on my screen.
That's perfect for the customer to say, right? But you were supposed to be one of us and say yes and.
But she asked a question. That's where I get confused with this, because she asked me a question.
True. But so you're right. So right, you took the customer response. So now, okay, so you just answered as your customer. So now you're you. Now what would you say to that? Yes and.
I think that that's awesome, because you don't want to follow in the footsteps of those family members. And there are some wonderful options that I've become aware of and that have made a significant difference in my family's health, because we're the same way. Like if I would do anything to lower my kids' risk of becoming a statistic. So if you're open, I'd love to share with you a functional plant product that has worked really well for us. Are you open?
Great, perfect. That's awesome. So anybody, do you guys kind of get the gist of it too? When you're talking to your customer and they're coming at you with something, it's always yes and. We never kind of deny them of what they what they have to say, because that's just going to, basically put up that wall. So we want to kind of agree, find that 10% that we find correct with what they're saying, and then add in what we know to be, the correct or our truth. So, so basically, let me find my place here. Okay, so a little recap on all that is don't force a conversation's direction on your customer. See what path will make it easier for them to engage. Focus on getting the conversation moving and on getting a good conversational flow. And so the next part of habit 4 is basically get rid of your but. So what do you guys think we should always so why do you guys think that we should always use yes and not but? Why do we need to take the but out of the conversation? Barry?
But is a negation. So everything in the first part, but the second part, it negates the first part, and then they probably feel not heard, it's not there. The and is the addition. It's almost like validating, yes, what you just said, and have you consider this, and there's some more stuff. So it brings you forward opposed to chopping it off. Yeah.
100%. That's exactly it. Because but is a no. You're saying, nope, you're wrong. So,
it's like your spouse says, I love you, but you didn't blah, 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 blah. And it's like all the rest of it goes out the door, right?
100%. And it also what ends the conversation too, and keeps the conversation going. So that is perfect. So the last practice that I want to talk about in habit 4 is make accidents work. So this one is, okay, so this is about improvisation. So it's going with the flow of the conversation, even if it's not in the order you had planned. So because we usually have an itinerary, a plan of how we want to talk to our prospect customer, and, and the way we want to talk to and tell our story to the people about the product and the business. But then what happens when they ask a question in the middle of it all that you were saving for the end? Like, it's totally out of order. I didn't want to get to that yet because it happens all the time. So can anybody give me an example of this and how you would actually handle it? Anybody?
I might ask a question back about
So,
what they were interrupting with.
okay, so what would be that example of that, what they kind of interrupted with? Like for you, like, when if you've already kind of experienced this or whatever, and you're going along with your story, and then they throw in this question that you weren't ready to answer until the end, because it's usually a kind of like a, I don't want to go there yet kind of question.
Mhm.
What's
Usually that, mhm. Sorry, Lisa. I would say, I guess the question usually that I don't want to answer yet is how much is it?
ding ding?
So let me think how I would rephrase, how I would ask a question back. Maybe something I could ask something, well, I don't know, who knows, right or wrong. How much do you spend on your fruits and vegetables regularly, or how much do you spend on your vitamins? If they're taking vitamins. So I kind of ask them that question.
That's perfect. See, because you didn't say, oh, we'll get to that later. You let the flow of the conversation still happen. And then you asked a question kind of to their question to see why they were maybe thinking about it. And to, so that's perfect. We want to actually keep that conversation going instead of going, we'll get to that in a minute. Let me finish what I'm talking about to you. So it's keeping the flow of the conversation going. Does anybody else have any other examples, say maybe with that same topic or maybe a different topic that might come up that might be kind of, not something that you would want to answer at, say, the beginning of your story or conversation?
Yeah, if I get price, my favorite thing to do is like, oh my gosh, that is my favorite part. Like, I'm going to tell you, because that's why I'm doing this. There is no way I could ever put 30 different fruits, veggies, and berries in my body for $1, what is it, $2.20 a day or whatever it is for that amount of money. So I am so excited about this, because if I had $2.20 in my hand, I could maybe go to the grocery store and get 2 organic apples, and for $2.20, I am putting 30 different fruits, veggies, and berries in my body every single day in seconds, and then I might loop back to where we were.
That was awesome.
Never want to negate what they're saying. We always want to keep the flow of the conversation going, because what they're asking, it's important, and they, that is the most important to them. It might not be the most important to us, and we might get to whatever the question is later. It's going to be in our conversation, but it was important to them, and we answer that for them when they ask. Carrie?
Well, the one thing I wanted to bring up about what Kristin just did too, it's about posture and being that, enthusiastic and excited about being able to share something with somebody takes them out of a different position. Like now they're kind of leaning in, so that was really great, Kristin. I wanted to bring that up. Yeah.
Because that's the trick to making this work, is remembering every idea is a bridge to the best idea. And you have to believe that no matter what happens, you can get there from here. And wherever here is where their question or whatever led you. And you can always get there from here. And don't focus on the accident, focus on where you can go once that accident has happened. And don't let the unforeseen occurrence shake you, just like Kristin didn't. It was very postured. It didn't shake her. And it was kind of like, wow, okay, that's great. Because the more postured we are, the more comfortable they're going to be. So now Kristin is actually going to hop in here and talk about the story brand plan.
Yeah, so story brand, you guys, it is the guider will guide, okay? And in Juice Plus, we are the guides. We are not the hero. Our job is to make our customer or our potential customer be the hero of the story. We are just guiding them along. So what is the best way to guide them along? And I was thinking about coming up with an example, and I thought of when my kids were little and they went to school, but they had a doctor's appointment that day and they had to get out of school earlier. There was always some anxiety with the kids, like, how are we going to do this? How will they know? What will, how it's like they lose their mind. And I always think of the ants in the movie Ants when they're marching along and a leaf falls like in the middle of where they're marching, and the ants go crazy and they're like, what are we gonna do? A leaf fell. And the sergeant ant comes running up and he says, we're gonna go around the leaf. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go around. So I always think, and he made it real easy for them. They're like, oh, okay, we'll go around the leaf. The same is true when our kids have a doctor's appointment. We give them maybe 3 steps. This is how it's gonna work. I'm gonna get to the school at 10:30. I'm gonna go to the office and have the office call you. They're going to call you. When they call you, you get your backpack and you come to the office, right? That's how we're going to do this thing. That's the way it's going to work. And if you think about it, it's kind of like looking at a rushing river, and who wants to walk across a rushing river? But if we put stones in the river so that people can sort of tiptoe across the river, it's much easier. And as the guide, we got to do that for our customers or our potential customers. So we have to do one. So let's say that we have talked with a person about Juice Plus. They're like, all right. And then we send them a video and it's sort of okay, but maybe we don't, they're like, I'm still interested. And you're like, well, what do I do now? What do I do now? They're interested. They like the video. I talked to them, but what do I do? And you got to think about 3 steps. No more than 6 steps, no more than 6 stones in the river, right? Because it's going to confuse people more if you put too many steps. Somewhere between 3 and 6 steps of how you're going to get them to the next step. And the next step is basically to talk them through how it would work if they were going to buy Juice Plus. So I want you guys to tell me, what would the first step be? What would the first stone be? If you had someone that had watched the videos, was interested, what would that first stone be? Oh, the dog wants to answer.
Yeah, maybe a conversation or a follow-up with the rep.
Okay, and so
Where I'm a little clear. I think you said after they saw the video.
After they saw the video, yep, a conversation. Oh, so you'd have with the prospect, having a conversation with the prospect.
Say, what?
Okay, so after
you
you've done that, and this is where people get confused, because sometimes then people quit answering back about that time. They watch the video, they say, yeah, it was nice. So does anyone know what you would do? What the best thing to do at that point is?
Ask
Carrie.
them what they liked about the video.
Was that?
Ask them what they liked about the video.
Yep. And then if they like the video, then we got to get brave and ask them what?
How can you get started?
Yes.
What credit card do you want to put it on?
Yes, we forget to ask them, are you ready to get started? That's the first stone into making it really simple for them. Are you ready to get started? Then you find out, yes, how do I do that? Or no, like, I need more something, and then you can go from there. So let's say they say, I think I am. How are we going to make it really easy for them to get their product? Yes, I'm ready to get started. Caprice.
Send them a cart or the link directly to the product they're interested in.
Okay. So ask them what products they want, what products are making sense to you. And I always tell them what I take, which is the quad and the shakes and, sometimes the bars and whatnot. But I mean, I like if they're not quite sure, you're like, well, I'm not sure what your budget is. I start with I've been taking the quad. The fruits, the veggies, the berries, and the omegas. That runs me, and I'll just tell them that's about $140 I always, the new prices, I'm lost. I'm not going to get into that, but I tell them how much that is. And I say, how does that sound to you? So you have to ask though for what you want. Are you ready to get started? Great. What products do you want? I will send you a cart or the link. Which is easier for you? Would you like to just be able to put in your credit card information, or do you want to go to the site and make your own purchase? So you can decide. We're kind of at 2 steps. We're at the 3. Are you ready to get started? What products do you want? Do you want a cart? Okay. Easy. We just got the sale on that one. And the second thing is, once you're done with the purchase plan, we also have sort of a post-purchase plan. And that's, to me, that is where you get to really add value. So what can you do to, like, if someone buys complete shakes from me, I always follow up by sending them the little complete recipe book. If you're going to spend $152 on complete, you get the free recipe book from me. Like, that makes sense, because now they're going to use it because they have the recipes to go along with it, right? So I will send that. But what are some other value? What's another value added thing that you can offer somebody once they make that purchase to continue your relationship with the customer?
I always offer to add them to the Facebook page, where I say you just get a ton of resources, an entire community of support, free recipes, free exercises. Would you like to be a part of that?
Yes. Can I add you? Would you like me to add you to that group or invite you, or what? I guess you can just add them to like our Live Healthy, Be Happy group. Add them or send them an invite. Any other things that you could? I lead with the shred. So a lot of my people are trying to get healthier. I'm like, I got a great group. It's called the Shred. I lead with that. But what other things can you do?
You could send them a thank you card and a sample of a shake.
Yep. If they didn't buy shakes, send them a sample of a shake, right? What else?
I also, if they have children, I will send them that Start Strong book.
Okay.
And the link to that website, to the Healthy Living Revolution website, so that they can download any free recipe books.
Yep, that's that's value. That's what I was going to say. We got a ton of recipe books. We have one for crock pot and Instant Pot, which is getting to be the perfect time of year to send that one out. So don't leave your customers hanging. I mean, keep them. Once you have them, add value to their experience. Because this isn't just a buy capsules from me program. This is I want to get you, I'm invested in your health. I'm here to follow you and, complete your health. When I get the notice that the customer's order is going to ship within 10 days, you better believe I follow up every single time. I've never, I can't say never. There's been like 2 times that a customer has gotten products from me without a follow-up note from me that said, hey, your product's going to reship in, on this date. Are you ready for more? Okay. Or if you need to make any changes, let me know. I don't, some people might want to say, log into your whatever. Most of the people I talk to, if they want to do that, they will do it. But very few of them, most of mine, I just give a quick call. And it makes it very easy. And they trust me. They thank me like every month that I send those out. Thank you so much for the reminder. Nobody does it. I've bought lots of network marketing products and nobody's ever sent me those reminders, and I've got stuff I don't want. Heck, I got Juice Plus that I didn't want. I quit the whole thing for a whole year. So anyway, that is we want to make it easy for them. No more than 3 to 6 steps. You're going to confuse them if you make it too complicated. Be very crystal clear on what you want and then follow up and give them some value.
I think Beth has her hand up. Beth, do you have your hand up?
Oh yeah, I did, but I do have another thing. Sorry about that. So we did, on that same note, I actually now have started to kind of make this more self service for my customer. I will say, when I've gotten their order, I say, okay, you're going to be able to you get a couple of choices here. You can log in and create an account and you can manage your order. or I will be happy to remind you. So I kind of let them take the lead sometimes on that, but I'm still monitoring because I do the same like you, Kristin, and just send those email reminders regularly.
Yeah, I typically send out a text message. Yeah, most of my people
Mhm.
prefer that. There's a
Yeah.
couple that prefer that I ask them what their preference is. So yeah, however that
Right.
is. But it's really important, and it's how you stay engaged and how people trust you. Anything else? Those are my 2 points. We are the guide. We never want to forget that we're not trying to be that we stand back and help people cross the river. We put the stones down so they can step on them. So but it's not our show to run. We got to find out what they want and then figure out a clear path to get there. Any other questions? I think we're done.
It was excellent. Thank you.
It was really
Can I
good.
just,
Good
this
job.
is a really great call. I just learned about this call. So I am really, well, I don't even have my video on. Sorry, you guys. Hi, Carrie.
Hi.
I didn't meet everybody at the conference. I'm in Dallas, so I don't see everybody all the time, but I will, I love this call. It was really, really helpful for me. And I don't know, the content is fantastic. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, well, we're glad you showed up.
Thanks for the
Thank
feedback.
you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna stop the recording.